Hey, people out there in the bytes and megabytes and kilobytes and terabytes and all kinds of bytes in the world of the internet. It's slippery. And I'm right out now in the town of East Hampton, and I'm just checking out one of the vintage windmills. And the east end of Long Island has a number of windmills that are clustered out here that are vintage, and I believe that they're called smock windmills because of their architecture, and they were used back in the day to grind corn and grist and all sorts of agricultural products. And I've never seen them really up close, but they are an interesting architectural feature of East End Long Island. And I'm going to see if I can send up the drone and take a couple of shots. So I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, and we'll see how the footage looks. I don't know if you guys can see the sign, but the sign says Montauk State Parkway, no parking along Parkway. And in some ways, I don't know, I find some kind of irony in that entire sign, but I thought it was something noteworthy. Yeah, so I'm coming up to Montauk Point State Park, which is the farthest easternmost tip of the South Fork of Long Island, and it has one of the most iconic lighthouses probably in New York State, if not the entire East Coast. I'm sure there are people that will argue that, but it's a beautiful day. I'm going to fly the drone up at the up and around the lighthouse, but you can see it a little bit, I'm sure, on the GoPro, and you get a really nice view out here of the end of the island, and you can see over to what I believe is Block Island. You can see actually windmills out off of that island. You can see over the Connecticut. You can see parts of the North Fork, and it's not crowded because it's 32 degrees, which isn't that cold considering what we've had the last couple of nights. So, yeah, I'm going to park, take a look, fly the drone, and see if I can get some shots. The lighthouse is preened very nicely. It probably looks great at night with lights on it. It's kind of funny, Christmas lights on a lighthouse, but I'm sure it looks great. You can see a big wreath towards the top. And there are still, people taking a look. So thanks again, guys, for coming along and taking the ride. And let's see what the drone shows. So I'm at a place called Camp Hero State Park, and it's up in Montauk Point, out on the southern tip of the eastern point of Long Island. And it has some interesting history. It was named after a general, and his name was actually General Hero. And this camp predates World War II, World War I. I think it's even predates World War I. But it's primarily known as, there's some conspiracy theories behind the camp. And it's kind of known to have done some experimental work. And during the Cold War, there was a large radar tower built as a early warning radar, I guess, for Soviet ballistic missiles. And you can get a good look at the radar tower here. The sun is like right in the back, so I don't know how good you can see it. I'll send the drone up to get a look at it, but it's interesting. And you can see that danger, keep out falling objects, and it is closed. But there's also several spots where there are World War II vintage 16-inch gun emplacements. And from what I understand, this entire area was disguised as a fishing village, so that I guess the enemy or others would not know that this was a military emplacement. Yeah, there are quite a few hiking trails here, and there's a sign here that Montauk Air Force Station. Now there you go, 1948, early warning radar, SAGE Air Defense Network, which linked the nation's air defenses. So yeah, there's a lot of history here as an early warning site, which has now since been abandoned. But I find some of these places very interesting. I know my friend HS, the Hebrew spaceman of Dogpile fame, he's asked me a couple times, and I'm going to take him up on it and take a look around Floyd Bennett Field, because some of these places are really kind of hidden treasures that a lot of people don't know about or don't care to investigate. But a lot of history here, and kind of fun when you have nothing to do. Take a look. Oh, this is there's some signage here that says battery done, battery 113. Constructed in 1942 in honor of Colonel John M. Dunn. Two 16-inch guns, 600 feet long and made of reinforced concrete. Wow. So you can get a look at it here. And it looks like they've sealed off any access to it, which sucks for those of us who want to take a quick look, but you can see the emplacement. I guess it's crew of a number of people to operate these type of artillery. Hey dear, come on guys. What's going on, guys? So I'm at a parking spot here by Camp Hero, and you can basically have a nice vantage out to the ocean. You actually see windmills up on my left. I think that might be Block Island, actually. I'm not exactly sure, but I might take the drone out and take a couple shots along the bluffs here at the end of Montauk Point. right across from where all the fishing boats sail out of Montauk and see if I can get a couple of shots. But again, I thank you guys for coming along and checking out my channel. So all the best. Talk to you soon. See you in the next one.